Good morning, everyone. Today's Tuesday, Testimony Tuesday, and I want to share with you today a principle that the Lord has been working on in my own life. And the principle that He's been working on in me is that of self-control and discipline. The Lord told me fairly recently that He really wanted me to focus on becoming more self-disciplined and learning more about self-control. And He has started in my life with very basic foundational principles related to my own health and wellness. And so before I tell you what the Lord's been doing in my life to teach me some of those principles, I have to tell you that I have not always walked in a lot of self-control and discipline regarding my health. I have never been a morning person, first of all. I always hated getting up in the morning, and I was really great at exercising if I had a group of friends or somebody else that I was exercising with to kind of like motivate me, some kind of external motivation to get me going. Never so great just on my own. Well, and the other area is eating. I always was kind of like easy to give in to cravings and what I wanted to eat. Not always making healthy choices. And I kind of had we'll call it the come to Jesus moment a few years back when I ended up with pancreatitis in the hospital. And that is like so not fun. I don't wish that on anybody. It is very painful. And do you know what the cure for pancreatitis is? Or the treatment, I should say, not the cure. The treatment is no food. They put you in the hospital, they put an IV line in you, and they will not let you eat or drink anything because your whole digestive system has to simmer down. Well, 8 days in the hospital was not fun. The recovery period afterwards, totally not fun. It was very painful, and I would not wish that on anybody. But it was a little bit of a wake-up call for me about my health. And not that right after I had that I had some big change, like I just totally changed my life. It's taken a couple of years, but the Lord started really dealing with me in the fall about health and wellness for my body. And the very first thing that He had me do was He had me start getting up early in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning, and exercising. And I mean, not with a gym membership, not with a bunch of people. It was me and Jesus and some YouTube videos. And you know what? I started getting stronger. I felt better. I had more energy. And I was like, wow, Lord, this is starting to work. I could feel things beginning to shift and change in my body and my whole system. And the Lord told me in December that it was time for like the next step. And that was changing the way I ate. And I loved sugar and carbohydrates. And so, the Lord's timing is always kind of funny, but like 2 weeks before Christmas, the Lord told me it was time to change the way I ate. And He actually had me go on a low carbohydrate, moderate protein, high fat diet. 2 weeks before Christmas, no sugar. Do you know how hard it is to go without sugar at Christmas time? But it was about the principle that He was trying to teach me about discipline and self-control. And so I thought, okay, if I can make it through the end of December and the beginning of January, this time of the year, without sugars and carbs, I can do this. I can do it. So I started then. And since then, I've remained on that way of eating, and included intermittent fasting. That's one of the tools in this particular way of eating. And I think it's really ironic that one of the things that made me healthier was fasting, because we know we're supposed to be fasting and praying, right? Well, in the past, I would fast and pray, but it was really hard to pray because I was suffering so much from the fasting. I couldn't hardly focus, It was like this huge sacrifice not to go without food. And it has been so crazy because, like, doing this change that I've made without the carbs, I have some carbs, but not a lot of carbohydrates. All of a sudden, I'm able to fast, and instead of like physically feeling like I'm suffering, I feel really focused, and I'm able to really focus during the fast. I think maybe that's what it was supposed to be all along, a really time to draw near to the Lord and focus. So, just in the natural, this is what the Lord's done in my life in the last several months. I've started exercising and getting stronger. I've seen a change in my muscles. I've lost quite a bit of weight. I feel healthier. I don't have as much fatigue. I feel stronger. And I feel like I actually have some control now over my lifestyle and what I'm eating and the choices that I'm making. So the Lord is really teaching me a lot more about self-control, which is one of the fruits of the spirits, which I should have anyway. But it was an area that I've struggled with my whole life, really. Wow, I am so thankful for that lesson. I think now He's going to take it and kind of move it from just a focus on my physical health to my spiritual health. And I started kind of thinking about what is the sugars that affect us spiritually, mentally, and spiritually. And I really think that it's kind of like pop culture, social media, entertainment, all of that stuff that's part of our cultural norm now is really not healthy for us. And we get distracted. We gain a lot of baggage and weight through it. We have a hard time hearing the voice of the Lord and following the principles of the Lord, like, fasting would be an example. So I'm going to try to change my focus in those areas next. I think that's what the Lord's leading me into. But anyway, my testimony today, it's not some great earth-shattering testimony, but for me, it was a really big deal because I have struggled with this for my whole life. And this is the first time that I feel like I've actually been able to walk step by step through something. And it's been something that just, the Lord and I, the motivation from the Lord and this internal motivation, that I've been doing it for the right reasons and not because it's a fad or a fad diet or some group of friends is doing something, so I'm motivated by them. But it really is about discipline and self-control. So I want to encourage you today that if there's an area of your life where you feel like it's been out of control, there's been no discipline, you're not experiencing the fruit of the Spirit of self-control, that you will ask the Lord to help you, to give you strategies so that you can walk in discipline and self-control too. Because it's the hallmark of a really good father, and we have a really good father, to discipline his children, to help them so that they are healthy, so that they walk in blessings. And that's what the Lord's doing for us too. That's what He's wanting to do for me. So just a simple testimony today, but that's my Testimony Tuesday for today. And so I bless you, and I pray that the Lord will give you the strategies that you need to walk into a new season of health and blessing. Goodbye.